All right. Welcome everyone. It seems I thought we had some audio coming from there. Let me. Okay, let me try to get that. See if I can get the audio from there. Just getting everything all lined up. So we have. Welcome to tonight's race between AmazingAmpharos and TheAlanHeffley. This is round 2 of the Swiss round of the Zelda 2 Randomizer tournament. Okay. Did I? Okay, so... Oh. I'm messing everything up over here. Sorry about that. They should be off. The SRL has set them off. And okay. And it looks like I'm gonna... Okay. Just trying to get the two streams synced up. Right out of the bat, AmazingAmpharos finds Bagoo, which will help him cross Saria if he needs to. Alan finds the back end of Jump Cave. Yeah, if I guess I need to hop into the Discord thing so Jackamus can join. Okay, so looks like we'll be getting another commentary. Jackamus should be helping out. All right, so let me know if I missed anything. Alan has found the P-Bag Cave, which in vanilla has a P-Bag, but with the flags that we're playing with can have an item in it. So we'll see what he finds here. And we've got a magic container. Okay, so never bad to find a magic container, although at this point you really want to find one of the required items like the glove or the raft. That can really help expand your exploration in the game. Here we have the back end of Saria on AlanHeffley's side, and Great Palace, so... Yeah, it does. Getting a magic jar early does help. Although at this point, when I don't have any spells yet, I'm looking for other things, so... Oh, and Alan taking... I'm guessing, is that stream hiccup? Because it wouldn't be staying that... Oh, okay. Yeah, it must have been a stream hiccup on Alan's side. So, AmazingAmpharos is deciding to make a use of Bagoo to cross at Saria. And Alan is poking around in Death Mountain. Trying to see if he can find Hammer Cave. If you can just duck into the caves right around the entrance and find Hammer Cave. That can, if it's a required item, that can really help speed you up. Because a lot of people like to avoid Hammer Cave or avoid Death Mountain if they don't need to go in there. And we found Life Spell in Saria. Okay. Oh, and we do see Spectacle Rock on Alan's side, but unfortunately he doesn't have the hammer yet to make use of that. Oh, and AmazingAmpharos has found Medicine Cave. Are we not getting... Oh, why is... That's weird. The desktop audio seems to not be picking up the VLC audio. Because I'm hearing it through... let me try something. Okay, now is that working? Okay, it looks like Alan has found Magic Cave, so... Okay, cool. It was picking up both... Oh, shoot, I missed what was in Magic Cave there on Alan's side while I was messing with the audio. Oh, and we got 2 red Dairas there on AmazingAmpharos' side in Medicine Cave. Oh, he kills one but doesn't get the experience. Oh, and it was a game over, so... But if you kill an enemy but die before you get the experience from it, yeah, I can turn that down just a touch. Let me know if that is better. I'm not sure if life was castable. So Alan is going to be getting the life spell soon too. But did you see, did anyone in chat happen to see what was in Magic Cave? We've got the trophy there in Heart Cave. The trophy will allow AmazingAmpharos to get the spell from Ruto. We'll get another chance to see this, the Magic Cave here on AmazingAmpharos' side. Taking Magic 2 there. Trying to get past this Mew. Oh, just decides to take the damage from it. Oh, and it is the magic key. Okay, so... that's a very good item to get. That way they won't be worried about key blocks in going into palaces very early. So... even though the flag, or the flags for this have extra keys in the palaces, it is still possible to be key blocked. So, getting that magic key is a big help. Okay, now we're simultaneously fighting these red Dairas on both sides here in Medicine Cave. We'll see who can get through. It turns out life is castable, but it does seem pretty expensive. Okay. Made it through the first one on AmazingAmpharos' side. Oh, yeah. Magic 2, that may have been the difference there. Okay, and game over on Alan's side. Oh, double axe is frustrating there, but making some better work on... Oh, goodness, all three of the enemies in this cave are red Dairas.
Quite the nasty gauntlet to have to go up so early on inside the medicine cave.
Yeah, at this point with 3 red Dairas in there and attack 1 and life 2, I might consider leaving and coming back later after getting some more levels.
That said, AmazingAmpharos is now on the last one. We can vaguely see the item. It looks like a heart container.
Oh. Yes, it is a heart container, so let me do this. And they're saying you're a little quiet, so let me see if I can get that evened out again. Let me know how that sounds in chat. So, and then I guess at this point, AA doesn't want to lose the experience he got from killing those red Dairas, but I'd almost think I'd want to up A just to get out of there.
The temptation to keep going with your experience is always something that you have to weigh one way or another.
Right, and now AA does have attack 2, so that should help him out a bit.
Down on Alan's side, we're looking at a fairly nasty encounter inside the desert.
Yeah, those when you're playing without mixing large and small enemies, that encounter just is quite often very brutal. And when you die in those encounters, all the enemies respawn, so...
They can be very lucrative, too, with the right combinations. It's always great to walk into one of those and have 4 or 5 orange Dairas that generally aren't too difficult to take care of.
Right, especially once you have downstab. But early on, if it's a really nasty encounter, I'll often just up A to get out of it. Okay. So, looks like we found, was that the second entrance to Death Mountain? I'm not sure now. It's hard to keep track of everything.
Whatever the case, is absolutely not interested in looking around in there just yet.
And at this point, I don't really blame him. There's still plenty of things to find here on the Western continent, although we did see great palaces on the west, so that limits us to only 2 palace items instead of the usual 3.
Knowing where Great Palaces definitely has its advantages once you get over to the east, though. You'll, for example, not be so hesitant to go through Valley of Death palaces at the end, because in most cases you should at least be able to get something done once you get through there.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. If I know that Great Palace is not in Valley of Death, I'll duck in there as soon as I find it just to see what I'm up against. Okay, Alan is making another go at Medicine Cave, this time with life 2. Or attack 2. But I'm thinking he may not be able to cast life with only magic level 1. Oh, now he ought to be, we know he can cast it now at Magic 2. And AmazingAmpharos finds Rauru, or however you pronounce that town. Rauru, which is good for a free spell. Oh, and we get Thunder. Yeah. Which that is good because Thunder is a required spell. Thunderbird is required with these flags. So there are 3 required spells in this with Thunder, Reflect, and Fairy. Fairy's technically not always required. AA just found Palace 5, but it's almost always required, so... Oh, and we have the hammer on the grass tile. I haven't seen the cost of Thunder. I didn't notice it when he picked it up. But yeah, that's the thing. If it's a cheap Thunder cost, it can be really useful early. And AA ducking into Palace 4, hoping to find an item, I think, because at this point he doesn't have Reflect, so... Could also be trying to level up his attack. Oh, finds Karok's room and immediately nopes out of there. Oh no, Jack's computer crashed. Yeah, so at least coming in to a palace early that you know you don't want to fight the boss, it is helpful when you find out if you can find that the boss is very near the start. That way you don't waste a lot of time when you have to come back later. And so we notice here AA is trying to go right whenever he can. Turns out Thunder is castable. In Palaces 1, 2, and 5, you enter the item room going to the left. And in Palaces 3, 4, and 6, you enter the item room going to the right. So, since we're in Palace 4, AA is going to be going to the right to try to find that the item room as quickly as he can. Not counting the boss, there are 3 other dead ends to the right in Palace 4, and I don't think we found any of them yet, just the boss. So with the hammer, AA might... We saw there was a cave that was blocked by a boulder, and there's also Spectacle Rock in Death Mountain. Those are 2 places we might expect to see him go. Alan sees Palace 4 and decides that he doesn't want anything to do with it. So some good questions in there about how much damage the Thunder spell does, and it sounds like it does 64 damage, or 64 HP worth of damage, regardless of your attack level, so... And here we have Trophy Cave behind the boulder, so we'll see what we've got in here. Hopefully something good. We have the raft. Okay, so hammer is required. Should also mark the... So the raft is good because it will open up exploration into the eastern continent. And that's immediately where AA decides to go. We have a cave and a palace right off the bat. And this is either Palace 3 or 6. And AA doesn't want anything to do with it yet. I think... and there's Palace 5 on Alan's side. I think Alan just got Thunder. He was just in Rauru, so... Oh, and AA, you can see those invisible Moas in this graveyard encounter. That's one of the dangers of going to the east when you have low levels and you don't have the cross. It can make these graveyard encounters pretty dangerous. Yeah, the flute is an item that could be required. Oh, and we're going to see the spell here in Ruto. It's not often... Oh, it's the jump spell. Okay, which is where the jump spell is normally found, so... but that's good. It'll allow Alan to get the downstab, so... which is a very helpful attack. And that's exactly where Alan is going. And here we are in Naburu on AA's side, where you have to fetch some water for a thirsty woman to get another spell. But back about the flute and the River Devil, it is not commonly required in Randomizer, but it can be required. And we have the spell. And the spell lets you get an item in New Kasuto, and it also lets you turn enemies into bots. And bots are the blue slimes that jump, and they're jerks. Their movement is very random, so they are pretty much one of the most commonly hated enemies. And I did not see the... I'm too polite. I did not see the... oh, shoot. I didn't see the item from Spectacle Rock or the magic requirement for the item in New Kasuto. Oh, 7... Okay. Fairy spell for... in New Kasuto, which is good. Did someone see what was under Spectacle Rock? Oh, it's a red jar. Okay, thank you. Okay, and... Right. So, Alan is deciding to dig for the hammer cave, so we'll see what that is. If it turns out to be the glove, this could be a really interesting seed. We have the cross here. And that should help with being able to see the enemies in some of these encounters. It's not a required item, but it's not one that I'm ever too upset to find unless it's getting late and I still haven't found the glove. Yeah, when you have a seed with encounters that are heavy with invisible MOAs, having that cross really does help. So it's the usefulness of it depends very heavily on the seed. On AA's side, we just saw the bridge appearing for Maze Island, which is important because Maze Island has 2 items and a palace in it, so we haven't really found a palace that any of the players have wanted to spend a lot of time in, but it could be Palace 1 or Palace 2 that on there, which would be... at this point, I wouldn't think either runner would shy away from Palace 1 or Palace 2. Jackamus, his computer crashed, so... that's unfortunately, I'm not sure if he's getting that back on and gonna try to join again, or what is going on there. But that's why he's been so quiet. I guess he did post in chat, but I didn't say. Oh, trying to sort something out. Okay. Oh, and we have our first Maze Island item, and it is the kid. This kidnapped child is... that allows you to get the spell from Darunia, so... So... Alan is still digging in Death Mountain, and I haven't seen it. He's been in a lot of caves. I haven't seen exactly where all he's been, but I'm sure he's starting to get frustrated and ready to find the Hammer Cave. So, and here we have it's either 3 or 6. It's the opposite of the one we found earlier. So, probably not wanting to deal with it just yet. And, oh, it's a 1-up in there, so definitely not what AA was hoping to find. Oh, and we have Hammer Cave, and AA is diving into, we shall see shortly. This looks like Palace 6. So, Palace 6 can have some glove blocks, but the logic is smart enough to know if you can actually get the item, so it's possible the glove could be in here. Oh, goodness. Taking a death right after killing that red iron knuckle is unfortunate because you don't get the experience, and he respawns. And we're about to see what the item is in Hammer Cave. It's a magic container, so not what Alan was hoping to find, I'm sure. At this point, I think he's probably ready to find the raft, although he wouldn't be upset to find the glove. If you want to hop in, Ryan. Otherwise, I think whatever. Happy to have some help with the commentary, but either way. Yeah, unfortunately it was not a very fruitful Death Mountain. I'm sure he will be very happy to find the item in Trophy Cave, though. And over on AA's side we have a mini-boss fighting against Rebenak. Rebenak is the boss of Palace 3, but he shows up again for 2 refights in Palace 6. Oh, and not having downstab is really coming back to haunt AA there, so... And we learned now that that is Palace 3 that Alan just ducked into and left. Yeah, taking on Rebenak with attack 3 and not having downstab is a very tough fight. And taking it slow on this blue iron knuckle, getting 100 XP for it. Definitely making some good use of the Thunder Spell. And we have New Kasuto, so we'll see the 7 magic container requirement that Alan does not have. Although he is... I guess no, he's... He is 1 magic container up on AA, who is now able to get the downstab, so... I think at this point that's a very smart move. And getting the fairy spell. Unfortunately, Alan does not have the spell yet, so he can't get the cross at the end of the town. Alright, and now AA is has the downstab, and I have a feeling we'll see him go right back to the Eastern Continent. And now Alan is in Naburu, and we'll see him get the spell very shortly. Just have to fetch that water. Oh, AA's going into Death Mountain. Finds that red jar. I'm sure he's not happy about that. And he's gonna... we'll see how far he digs into these caves. When he finds that none of them in the vicinity are Hammer Cave, will he dive in or up A? You'd like to see downstab linked with fire? I'm not sure how that would work. But interesting idea for sure. Oh, and Alan is going back to see what this item is at the end of the New Kasuto. I'm sure he's hoping that it's the glove. Oh, and I realized I didn't mark the hammer for Alan. And now we have the cross, so looks like we are just about even as far as things found. Alan has the jump spell and an extra magic container, but that's about it. Fire can be linked with thunder. It's happened before. Oh, and AA finds Hammer Cave much quicker than Alan did, I think. So I'm sure he's really the item he's got to be digging for the most is the glove, and if it's not that, he probably would most like it to be the boots next. And then after that, I'm not sure. Maybe one of the spell items. But a magic container that he's going to be greeted with is never a bad thing. It's just not always the thing you want the most. Oh, it was right next to the second entrance. Okay. And Alan finds the Maze Island entrance, and I'm sure that's exactly where he's gonna go right now. Getting some really trolled by those bogos, or trollfish, as I think a lot of people like to call them. And Alan finds the kid. So I didn't mark that on AA's side. But I don't think we've seen Darunia yet, but when we do, I'm sure we'll see what the spell is, since neither player has Reflect yet, so... And AA is gonna... dive into Palace 3, so... maybe he'll get lucky and find a quick item room. Oh, and there's a glove block immediately to the right, but there's still some places to explore. Palace 3 can have 2 rooms that offer a glove block, so we'll see. Oh, and it's both directions are glove blocked immediately, so we know that the glove cannot be in Palace 3. Oh, I thought we might see a Fairy Feet attempt from AA, but instead he just queued up Fairy, wisely so, since he got knocked off the bridge, and that he was able to survive that encounter. Here we have one of the caves that in vanilla is a pea bag, but in with the flags we have for the randomizer, it can be an item. So we'll see what we get here. And Jay Coper saying he doesn't think AA tries Fairy Feet, and that's understandable. It can save some time if you're fast at it, but if you haven't taken the time to get some consistency and speed with it, it can just eat up some magic and time. So, but now AA does have the magic containers required to get the item from New Kasuto. So we'll see if he makes his way back there, if he goes in and tries to find that item. So, and that was a cave that is a pass-through. 500 P-Bag, not bad. And and Alan is. We'll see what lies beyond this Rebenak fight if Alan has some better luck. Oh, and here we have two 500 P-Bags, which is really good for AA to get that attack 4. Now he's 2 attack levels ahead of Alan, which is going to give him a distinct advantage when it comes to combat. AA decides at that point to up A, and I can't say that I blame him. Low level at Palace 6 is not fun. This is probably... Oh, this is Old Kasuto, so there's a free spell in here. And AA is hoping it's Reflect, but it's Shield. So Shield is one of those spells that I think is often underutilized. If you're like me, you forget about the spell existing until after you've already taken some damage. Oh, I thought, yeah, there we go. AA's checking out Death Mountain, which at this point it's gotta be either Palace 2 or Palace 1. I think we've seen every other palace, so... Trying to do an encounter skip where if you take an overworld encounter on the same tile as a fixed encounter, you get that random overworld encounter instead of the fixed encounter. And in the case of the Valley of Death encounters, it's actually easier to deal with these overworld enemy encounters than it is to deal with those fixed tile encounters. And AA casting Fairy just to not have to mess with anything. Oh, and Alan finds Karok there and decides to go out and try to find what else he can in the palace. It will be interesting to see. My phone just told me there's a tornado alert here, so if my internet drops, it is weather related, so... But yeah, so we'll see if Alan can find the palace item in Palace 4 that AA could not find, or did not find on his attempt. And AA taking his time, not wanting to take a game over on his way to this palace. Because once he gets there, he can up A to refill magic, life, and his lives. And so we're greeted with a Lavender Palace 2. And there is a glove block room in Palace 2, so it's possible that there's a glove block. But we won't know for it's not often glove blocked, but I guess it's often not glove blocked, but it's not uncommon for there to be a glove block, so. And Alan finding one of those dead-end rooms I was talking about before. They have keys at the end, which might be useful if both runners had not already found the magic key. Oh, taking a costly game over there. Alan decides that he's gonna try his luck somewhere else. And going into Palace 5, so... With attack 2, I don't imagine he's going to want to be fighting Guma just yet. Palace 5 is a very large palace. It's not one you want to have to dig the item out of if you can avoid it. But I have a feeling that we're going to see both players, they're favoring going left because that's where you go to get into the item room on both Palace 2 and Palace 5. And AA making good use of that red jar to get a full magic refill and a fairy cast out of there. Finds a key room that isn't of any use to him. Although he does get that key, which is a little curious. And these drippers are pretty friendly, dropping red iron knuckles that have very low HP and offer you 70 experience a pop, so... Oh, and Alan finds the item room in Palace 5, which is a lot faster than it often is, although he's greeted with a 500 point XP bag, which I'm sure is, while it is helpful that he can have attack 3 now, it's, I'm sure, not what he was looking for. We did find the glove block room, and it was going to the left, but we don't know if that's blocking the, or what that could be blocking. Okay, and finding a dead-end room, so that... I've been trying to pay attention to both racers, so I'm not sure how much of... how many unexplored turns AA has in Palace 2, or if that glove block is potentially blocking both the item and the boss. Okay, so AA's going to the right, which makes me think he's likely to find the boss over this way, and the item may be behind that glove block that we saw. So I haven't counted all the elevators if we've still got one more. Oh, no, this is a dead-end room. Okay, and yeah, Alan has found, I'm not sure if he realizes it, but this is a dead-end room that he's in that doesn't have anything. Oh, he was just trying to get that XP to get attack 4, but he's coming back in, so I guess he is going to try to find Guma. Oh, and AA making good use of that Thunder spell and gets a nice red jar drop for his trouble, so... Yeah, that is a good point. We're 50 minutes in, almost 50 minutes in, and so far neither player has placed a gem, although AA is about to do that now. Oh, and we have Guma on Alan's side. So... okay, so we have Palace 2 down for AA. And debating what to do with the experience, he decides to take Magic 4. Yeah, it is a low HP Guma, but Guma still hits pretty hard. Yeah, it always seems like whenever you run into Guma, you have to hit him about 20 times before his life bar goes down even one box. Oh, and that lag in that desert encounter is not fun on AA's side. And Alan's gonna get a couple of levels out of this. I think he's made good use of all the experience available in Palace 5. And yes, that was a very nice fight. So, at this point, the two racers are pretty even in levels. AA has a slight advantage when it comes to attack and magic, but that can easily be made up by a gem or two. And AA going back for the new Kasuto item. And finding the boots. Okay. So the boots are always a good thing to find. It helps with exploration, and you can walk on water tiles where you are free from taking encounters, so it's always a happy surprise to find the boots. And Alan finds I think it's the magic container. So now he's got the 7 magic containers to be able to get those boots out of New Kasuto if he chooses. And AA finds a heart container, which gets that nice soothing. You can do 6 palaces in under 20 minutes if you don't need items. I definitely believe Yunos saying that. So we still have not found Darunia, and we don't have the spell from Mito. One of those two we're gonna have to... we either need to find Darunia or find the medicine to be able to get the reflect spell. So we have shield over here on Alan's side. Yeah, that's true. They are... Oh, what did... As I was marking the items and reading chat, I missed what was on the desert tile that AA just got. The flute. Okay, thank you. So, and we're not sure if that, I guess... Oh, I marked the wrong flute. There we go. And so up here on this northern section of Eastern Hyrule is where I imagine we'll find Darunia and possibly Palace 1. Or probably. Oh, and we have the water tile as well. And it's a heart container, so... It is almost a 100% seed at this point. You never want to have to... When you're racing, you always want to skip any items that are not necessary, but this seed just doesn't seem to be letting you do that. And I think this is going to be Palace 1, so... And Palace 1 is small enough that I'm sure we're going to see AA get the item out of here as well, and he starts by going left, so that's a good indicator that he's trying to find the item. Oh, and Alan is making his way into Valley of Death, and he'll be greeted with Palace 2. Was that a death abuse from Alan trying to refill magic? I'm guessing so. AA finding a key rune that he doesn't need to worry about. Luckily, there's only really when you're going left, there's really only that one dead end. Palace 1 is really short, so he keeps going left here, he ought to find the he ought to be finding the item pretty soon. I mean, I guess you could do 100% when you do a randomizer seed, but I'm not sure you'd find a lot of people taking you up on that race. Oh, and Alan getting blocked by those... Oh, we do have the glove in Palace 1. So... that is a very good find, and... free seed. Yeah, at this point, the only thing AA needs to find is the reflect spell. Yeah, I would agree that with finding that glove, he's got to be in the lead, but it may not be as big of a lead as you might expect it to be. So, and going in to place the gem, not bothering to grind any experience. I think he's just ready to make some progress and get this seed over with. So, the players started with the candle, so with these flags you start with the candle. So here's Darunia, where AA is readying up the fairy spell to be able to get the upstab technique. All you have to do is hold down when you cast the fairy spell, and you can fairy down the chimney. That's a relatively new technique that was discovered. Well, okay, there we go. The video froze, but for a bit on AA, but we were still getting the audio, so. Okay, and we have Palace 2 down on Alan's side. He's going to go back in and try to find the item, but I believe he's going to be disappointed with the glove block. Oh, and we've got the fire spell. It's possible that fire is paired with reflect. And we don't know at this point, but I'm sure that AA is going to test it out as soon as he can. Fire is paired with... Oh, it was paired with jump. Okay, so... Well, then that means... AA doesn't know it, but he's gotta find the medicine. So I imagine he's going to look for Ruto to cash in the trophy to get the jump spell, and is not going to be happy that it's jump. Yeah, we might as well just call Swiss round 2 the 100% round. Okay. Medicine in 4. We actually haven't seen the item in 4 yet, so that is a possibility. Okay, so we've got jump over there now. So AA is gonna have to find the complete spellbook here, so... Well, we already know that medicine's not in 5. Medicine in 4 would be trolly just because you don't generally want to go into 4 without reflect, so having to go and leave and come back. Yep, and so now the glove definitely helps because at this point AA can clear every palace except for Palace 4, so I imagine he's going to be doing that and digging into the palaces for the items, because I'm not sure where else he's going to find the medicine at this point. So, and having all 8 magic containers is definitely a good thing. But not it. It helps later in the game, but it is frustrating at this point when you know you need to find a different item. And so Alan decides to up A rather than trek back through Valley of Death. Oh, I didn't notice if he wasted the gem or not. I wasn't paying close enough attention. But judging by his levels, I think he got attack 5, maybe? Here we have Rebenek on AA's side, so this will be good to close out Palace 3. Getting a nice 700 XP for that. And it seems AA is probably just gonna take whatever comes to him, although, yeah, so... And we have the boots on Alan's side. So that will definitely help with some exploration. And AA's deciding to go into, I believe this was Palace 6, if memory serves me. Yep. We do not know the item for 2. That is true. The item for 2 was glove blocked. But having to go back through Valley of Death makes that less attractive, I think, for AA. We have the flute for Alan. Alan hasn't found P1 yet. He's about to find it soon. It's on the northern section of the eastern continent. So it's up in the area where he's currently heading. So along with Darunia, where he can get upstab and fire. Through Dick Shake Desert. VOD is Valley of Death. You're thinking of the 2 items in Death Mountain Slight Quills. Valley of Death is where Palace 2 is. So Alan finds the water tile, and now Palace 1. I'm sure he's just gonna dive right into Palace 1 and be very happy when he finds the glove finally, so... Yeah, it's, Valley of Death and Death Mountain have similar names, so it's an understandable mix-up. Yeah, Dick Shake, are you sure you know this game? Oh, and we have the fairy room here, or one of the two fairy rooms in Palace 6. And this is the item room, so at this point, AA's really just wanting to find the medicine. Okay, and what do we have? It's just a pea bag, so definitely not what AA was hoping to find. And Alan is going to be very happy here. It was the glove was in Palace 1. In Palace 6, it was the pea bag. Yeah, so we're quickly running out of places where the medicine can be. And Alan is making quick work of Horsehead. So, at this point we know, I guess it seems that the medicine has to either be in 4 or 2 or 4, so... And Alan's gonna get the upstab here. Everyone's favorite sword technique. And AA getting the lucky 50-50 drop for the red jar as he finds Barba. Now, AA did stop there on his way into the room, so we don't know where Barba's gonna spawn. Oh, he spawns right on the far right of the room. But if you... there's a manipulation if you don't stop your forward progression once you enter the room. Then Barba will always spawn in the far right pit. Oh, and AA getting 3 levels out of this Palace 6, so... Oh. Alright. Yeah, it's upstab is a good technique for Barba, especially when you don't have jump. And if you get really close to him and hit him with the upstab, he won't actually shoot fire at you. So... Spoilers, we already saw this on Alan's side. Let you dream, you missed it. Okay, so... and here we have Alan going into Palace 3. So... I forget, I think it was a magic container in 3. Alan will find that, but not be happy with not having the medicine here, so... Yeah, I've definitely had seeds like that, Amazing Toaster, and we have that magic container for Alan as he makes his way back into Palace 3 to find Rebenek. AA is going to be digging for both the item and Guma in here. He's not going to be happy to find the pea bag as the item. But knowing he needs to find the medicine, I have a feeling he's gonna come back after this fight to search for the item, so... Yeah, Reflect is behind the... is in Mido, behind the medicine, so... Oh, and Digshake's prediction was correct. It seems that AA... would rather go into Palace 4 than dig into Palace 5. And I guess I can't really blame him. It is much shorter. And he's much higher level than he was last time he entered Palace 4. Oh, we need to do that, because... and this is gonna turn out to be a smart move for AA, because we already know that the medicine is not in Palace 5, so... And, oh, Alan takes a sword beam to the back from Rebenek. But we've seen both runners try to set up this corner kill where you can... It's a pixel-perfect lineup on Rebenek, and then you can just pogo off of him in that left corner. And this trick only works on the left side, so... oh yeah, medicine could also be in Palace 2. That was glove blocked, so... They need Reflect because Karok, the boss of Palace 4, can only be killed by reflecting his magic back at him. Okay, and is Alan... I missed it. Did he place the gem, or is he's got to be going back to grind now, because I think... He's got to be going to grind here, because... That's the only reason he'd still be in 3 with his experience as high as it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, fairy is... It's technically possible for fairy not to be required, but it almost always is, so... Okay, and AA opting to ferry across the gap there in the hopes of tracking down the item room here. And what a room with 2 blue iron knuckles and a red, and there is the medicine, so... that means... AA is ready to get Reflect, and he can go on to finish clearing the game. So... at this point, you gotta feel like AA has a strong advantage. Okay, and now Alan is going into 6. So Alan's gonna find, I think it was a pea bag is the item in Palace 6, and be not very happy about that, but at least he'll be able to take down Barba. Yeah, P2 has to be the heart container. And here we have the Karok fight, so... looks like AA is gonna finish with 6, 7, 7 levels going into Great Palace. So... and AA opting to walk as the XP fills up rather than wait and up A. Great Palace is on the western continent, so I'm kind of surprised AA didn't up A, but there it is right near the cave, so it was not a long trek. And here we are in Great Palace. Oh, and Alan did not have enough magic to cast Fairy there, which I can't remember if that was the room where you went to find the item, or if that was just not required at all. So having I think this is a rather appealing Great Palace color palette. Yeah, more like the Gray Palace. Okay, you think that was the item. So that may... if that was the item, then that's probably gonna set Alan back even further, trying to go back... Oh no, or... Yeah, trying to go back to find the item after he takes down Barba. So we've had a couple of... Oh, we have a dead end here. I believe there are 3 of those dead end rooms in Great Palace. And in this seed, both Thunderbird and Darklink are required. I guess Darklink is always required. Thunderbird may or may not be. Here's another fairy required room in Great Palace. Or not Great Palace, in Palace 6 on Alan's side. Oh, there's a second one of those dead end rooms for AA. So it is worth noting that we have in the flags the short Great Palace turned on, which takes out or can take out as many as half of the rooms in Great Palace, I believe. So, and here we have the Barba fight for Alan. Oh, and Alan must not have gone all the way through without stopping, because we got the spawn in the far left rather than the far right. But Attack 6 making pretty short work of Barba, and Alan seeming to be more comfortable without jump, so... but having the medicine still out there for Alan, I have a feeling he might dive back into Palace 6, which is unfortunate because we know from AA that the medicine is in Palace 4. So, yep, Alan is indeed diving back in, trying to find that item, and is not going to be happy when he sees that it's the pea bag, so... Oh, finding a drop room on AA's side. I think this is the first drop room he's found. We did see at least one landing room, so the potential to loop backwards is there. Oh, and here we have the famous Eon room. Will AA take the drop? Nope. And here we have another drop, so... Yeah. Rose City with the sound advice of always take the Eon drop. So that was actually a loop, so I think we might see AA take the drop this time. And Alan did have the magic to cast Fairy on that drop, and is immediately greeted with the item room. Meanwhile, AA has stumbled upon the Thunderbird room. So it turns out, like I always say, you always take the Eon drop. And Alan cannot be happy to find that. Oh, I guess he gets a life level out of it, but immediately up A's. I forgot to mark that Palace 6 had been cleared out. So now we'll see if Alan goes back for Palace 2's item, which we believe is going to be a heart container, or if he goes into 4 at this point. Because those are really his only options right now. And there's Thunderbird down for AA. And so now AA trying to find where Dark Link is, so you never want to go left if you can avoid it. Finds the 1-up. Always right in Fairy Room. I thought in the Fairy Room you were supposed to always go to the left. And that's where AA's going now, so... And it seems Alan has decided to dig for the item in Palace 4, which is going to pay off for him, so... And here we've got the Dark Link fight. So AA's got not much life or magic right now. I'm not sure if he's on his last life or not, but... And AA has won it with an SRL time of 1 hour, 31 minutes, 56 seconds. So, very well played by AmazingAmpharos on a pretty trolly seed there. And Alan is digging for the medicine in 4.
Hello.
Hello. Congratulations on your win.
Thanks. That seed was horrible.
Yeah. I figured you would think so. How about that reflect spell?
The reflect spell, the glove, navigating the East Continent in general, the cost of Fairy at Magic 2 being 96,
That reflect spell.
which led to me having downstab way too late. It all kind of rolled together.
Yeah. Definitely a trolley seed, and then
When I placed my first gem at 49 minutes, I wasn't feeling too great.
Yeah, well, and I mean, you were I believe, the first one to place a gem in the race, so...
And the whole, and you know, I put that gem down in Palace 2, and as I really started to wind down on spots for the medicine to be, I just kept thinking, you know, Palace 2, where I know the item's glove blocked, is seeming more and more likely with every item. I was going to go back to 2 before I dug 5 for item, given how fast Guma was.
Right. Yeah, and I think that was one thing that did make a difference. Alan went into Palace 5 quite a bit earlier than you, and he dug for the item there still when he hadn't found the raft yet. So and I think that was one thing that did make a difference. Alan
yeah, the raft was pretty great, where you had to explore that massive area to find the one cave up north to get the hammer to go back down south for the raft.
Right.
Oh, yeah, and I'd also like to give a shout-out to 3 red Dairas in the medicine cave.
Yeah, that was definitely trolly. Both of you had some trouble with that at low levels.
The first time, I was trying to fight that first red Daira close to the left side to not spawn the second enemy. I failed it on my second attempt. I was like, as long as the second enemy's anything but another red Daira, I'll be fine.
Yeah, and then the second one, and sure enough, the third one, too.
Everything about that seed was a spectacle.
Yeah, and then the second one, and I'm not jealous of you having to play that seed.
At least I took the wrong way in Great Palace early, so when I found that drop after Thunderbird, I was pretty sure that was wrong.
Jealous of you having to play that seed. So, luckily when you found that loop, it was a pretty short loop in Great Palace, so. Right.
Yeah, I feel like I saw most of GP. Like, the only notable room I didn't see was the 4th drop, which is, a drop and a destination rolled into one.
Right. So, alright, and Alan has just picked up the Reflect spell, so he's ready to take out Karok and move into Great Palace. So once you got into Great Palace, though, and got all the required items, you didn't really have much trouble with it. So take out Karok and move into the Thunderbird fight wasn't a problem for you, and even with the low life and magic on Dark Link, you didn't have any issues there either. So very well.
Yeah,
played.
I had 3 lives anyway on Dark Link, so it was kind of whatever. That's why I didn't even bother with that fairy in that one room. I knew Dark Link was close, and the worst thing he could do would be kill me, which would be faster than getting that fairy.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, for a trolley seed, you definitely played it very well, so.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that seed was pretty horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
I was feeling worse and worse about how I was doing until medicine was actually in Palace 4.
Okay, so I'm bringing my stream back up at least to get the last little bit of it. Okay, so I'm not sure if anyone's still here watching, but here we are. Alan is in Great Palace, and he took that drop. I think he's... Oh, hey, American Choir Boy. So we'll see if Alan takes the Eon drop. No, he's gonna go to the right and end up taking that same loop, so... Okay, he spotted the loop before taking the full thing, so now he's gonna go take the drop. And he'll be... Okay, staying here for before the next race, that's a good move. So I will likely throw the host over to Adaginos after this. So Alan took a death, I'm guessing, to refill magic so he can cast Thunder. So... Okay, ACB, thanks for hanging out. Alan seems to be doing a pretty good job with Thunderbird here, although it did just take a hit, but although it is not seeming to be as concerned about keeping him in the pendulum pattern, although it got him back into it there just at the end. So... And I don't think it was too terribly far to get to Dark Link, but Alan making the correct decision not to take the drop there. And he's gonna go up and sees it to left as well, and so gonna take the path to the left in this fairy room. Okay, so I think pretty soon here is gonna be, in the next room or two is gonna be Dark Link, if I remember AmazingAmpharos correctly. And here we have Dark Link, so... And Alan opting to do the crouch stab strats, which are generally pretty safe, although you can get trolled by Dark Link jumping into you like that, so... And... Okay, so... There we have the race. So just, how much time separated the two? It was, like 18 minutes separating the two, so I think a big portion of that was, extra time spent, looking in Palace 5, I think was a big portion of it. So... Okay, Horror Film Kid, thanks for hanging out. I'll see if Alan wants to do a post-race interview, but I'm not sure if... So, okay. So we'll see if he wants to come in for an interview. Otherwise, I will just throw a host over to Adaginos for the next race in the tournament. All right. Okay, so it's not okay. Alan is gonna pass on the Alan's gonna pass on the post-race interview, so I am just gonna throw the host over to AmazingAmpharos. Or not, I mean, he was just racing, to Adaginos, who is doing the restream of, let me double check who he's restreaming, so I can give you the right information. He's restreaming Error72 versus Jay Coper, so that should be a very good race between two very good competitors in Zelda 2, so thank you all for watching, and have a pleasant evening, and we'll see you next time around the Zelda 2 randomizer. Don't forget to follow the racers. The Nightbot has been spamming the links for them in chat, so don't forget to follow them, and we'll see you around for more Zelda 2 randomizer action in the tournament.